Top 10 Scariest Things Caught on Live TV. Live TV broadcasts can be a source of entertainment, information, and even breaking news. But sometimes, the unexpected happens, and the unfolding events can be scary and even terrifying. This video will explore the top 10 scariest things caught on live TV. Let's get started. Number 1. September 11, 2001 terrorist attack. The September 11, 2001 terrorist attack was a shocking and terrifying event that shook the world. The live television coverage of the attack captured some of the scariest moments in modern history as viewers around the globe watched in disbelief as the World Trade Center towers were struck by commercial airliners and collapsed, claiming thousands of lives. One of the scariest things caught on live TV was when the first plane hit the North Tower of the World Trade Center at 8:46 a.m. Eastern Time. The footage showed the plane exploding into the building, sending smoke and debris flying in all directions. People watched in horror as the tower burned and people were trapped inside. As news of the attack spread, cameras captured people running in fear and chaos in the streets of New York City. The panic and confusion were palpable as people struggled to understand what was happening. The live broadcast of the second plane hitting the South Tower at 9:03 Eastern Time was equally terrifying. The sight of the tower engulfed in flames and smoke was a chilling reminder that this was not an accident, but a deliberate attack. The collapse of the South Tower at 9:59 a.m. was another moment of terror. The sight of the tower disintegrating in a cloud of dust and debris was apocalyptic, and many feared the same fate would befall the North Tower. Number 2. Challenger Space Shuttle explosion. On January 28, 1986, the Challenger space shuttle was set to embark on its 10th mission, carrying 7 crew members, including the first civilian astronaut, Krista McAuliffe. However, just 73 seconds after liftoff, tragedy struck, as the shuttle exploded mid-air, killing all on board. The incident remains one of space exploration's most devastating and shocking moments. The cause of the explosion was later determined to be a faulty O-ring seal in one of the rocket's boosters, which allowed hot gases to escape and ignite the fuel tank. The event was captured on live television, and the footage of the explosion and subsequent reactions from those watching remain seared into the memory of many who witnessed it. Number 3. Station nightclub fire. The nightclub fire occurred on February 20, 2003, in West Warwick, Rhode Island, United States. A live music concert turned into a deadly inferno, killing 100 people and injuring 230 others. The fire is considered one of the deadliest nightclub fires in U.S. history. The Station nightclub was a popular local music venue that attracted large crowds, especially on weekends. The concert on February 20th was headlined by the band Great White, and approximately 432 people were in attendance that night. The band used pyrotechnics during their performance, igniting foam insulation on the club's walls and ceiling. The fire quickly spread, engulfing the entire building in flames within minutes. The club had only one main entrance, and panic and confusion ensued as people tried to escape the burning building. The emergency response was delayed due to the building's lack of fire suppression systems, alarms, and sprinklers. The fire department arrived within 3 minutes of receiving the first call, but by then, the fire had already spread out of control. The firefighters were forced to use handheld extinguishers and hoses, which were inadequate to fight the raging flames. Number 4. Las Vegas shooting. I know that was scary, but not as scary as what seems to be the deadliest mass shooting in modern U.S. history. On October 1, 2017, a lone gunman opened fire on a crowd of concertgoers at the Route 95 Harvest Festival. The attack was caught on live television and left 58 people dead and over 800 injured. The gunman, identified as 64-year-old Stephen Paddock, had checked into a room on the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Hotel, overlooking the festival grounds. He had brought a cache of weapons, including multiple assault rifles and thousands of rounds of ammunition. As country music star Jason Aldean performed on stage, Paddock began firing into the crowd from his hotel room. The sound of gunfire was initially mistaken for fireworks, but as the situation unfolded, it became clear that a mass shooting was underway. Live television footage captured the chaos and confusion as concertgoers ran for cover and tried to find safety. The sound of rapid gunfire could be heard in the background, and the screams of the injured and dying filled the air. Number 5. The O.J. Simpson car chase. The O.J. Simpson car chase was a defining moment in American pop culture and legal history. On June 17, 1994, O.J. Simpson, a former football star and actor, was accused of murdering his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend, Ron Goldman. Simpson was scheduled to turn himself in to the authorities that morning, but instead, he fled in his white Ford Bronco. The chase was broadcast live on television, with millions of viewers glued to their screens, watching the slow-speed pursuit unfold on the highways of Los Angeles. The police pursued Simpson's car for over an hour, at times trailing him from a distance and at other times following closely behind. The chase ended when Simpson arrived at his home in Brentwood, where he eventually surrendered to the police. The entire event was captured on camera, with footage of the Bronco being broadcast on every major television network. The chase and subsequent surrender were watched by an estimated 95 million people, making it one of the most watched television events in history. The O.J. Simpson car chase is notable for a few reasons. Firstly, it was a rare example of a high-profile criminal suspect leading the police on a chase in a vehicle. Secondly, it was the first time a live television news network broadcasted an event of this magnitude. Lastly, it was a precursor to the intense media coverage surrounding Simpson's trial and subsequent acquittal. Despite the intense media coverage, Simpson was ultimately acquitted of the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. Number 6. Hurricane Katrina. Hurricane Katrina was one of the deadliest and most destructive hurricanes to hit the United States in recent history. It landed on August 29, 2005, devastating the Gulf Coast region, particularly New Orleans, Louisiana. The hurricane was a Category 5 storm when it formed in the Gulf of Mexico, but weakened to a Category 3 storm by the time it made landfall. The hurricane caused widespread damage and flooding, and many residents were forced to flee their homes. The levees that protected New Orleans from flooding were breached, causing massive flooding throughout the city. The flooding was so severe that it took weeks for the water to recede, and many homes and businesses were destroyed. Number 7. Oklahoma City bombing. The bombing occurred on April 19, 1995, in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. It was one of the deadliest acts of domestic terrorism in American history, killing 168 people and injuring more than 680 others. The attack was carried out by Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nichols, who was later convicted of the crime. The bombing targeted the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building, which housed several federal government agencies, including the United States Secret Service and the Drug Enforcement Administration. McVeigh, who had served in the United States Army during the Gulf War, was motivated by his hatred for the federal government and its handling of the Waco siege and the Ruby Ridge incident. On the day of the attack, McVeigh drove a rental truck filled with explosives to the front of the building and parked it there. He then set a timer and left the area, leaving behind a devastating explosion that destroyed the building and killed and injured hundreds of people, including children in the building's daycare center. Number 8. The paranormal activity. The Sallie House in Kansas has long been a hotspot for paranormal activity, with many visitors reporting strange occurrences and ghostly sightings. In 2016, a live broadcast of a paranormal investigation at the house captured some of the most compelling evidence of supernatural activity ever seen on live TV. During the investigation, the team set up cameras and recording devices throughout the house, hoping to capture evidence of the alleged ghostly presence. As the investigation progressed, they captured eerie and unexplained events, including objects moving independently, strange voices, and even a ghostly figure on the camera. One of the most chilling moments of the investigation was when the team captured footage of a door opening and closing on its own. In the footage, there appears to be no one in the room, yet the door continues to move back and forth as if it's being pushed by an unseen force. The investigation team also captured strange voices on their recording devices, including what appeared to be a child's voice. They also captured a figure on the camera that appeared translucent and ghostly, moving through the house and disappearing out of sight. Number 9. The Ghost in the Hotel. The footage of the alleged ghost in the Hotel Cambridge is one of the most famous examples of paranormal activity caught on camera. The video shows what appears to be a figure walking down the hotel hallway, seemingly disappearing into the wall at the end of the corridor. The footage has been analyzed and debated by experts in the paranormal and skeptics alike, with no clear consensus on whether or not the video is evidence of a ghostly apparition. While some have dismissed the footage as a hoax or a trick of the light, others have pointed to it as evidence of the existence of ghosts. Skeptics argue that the video can be easily explained by natural phenomena, such as camera glitches or reflections, and that there is no concrete evidence to support the existence of ghosts. Number 10. The Haiti Earthquake. This was a devastating earthquake that struck Haiti on January 12, 2010, causing widespread destruction and loss of life. The earthquake, which measured 7.0 on the Richter scale, was the largest earthquake to hit Haiti in over 200 years, and it was felt throughout the country and the surrounding region. The earthquake caused widespread damage to infrastructure, including roads, bridges, and buildings. Many of Haiti's buildings were not built to withstand earthquakes, and the destruction was catastrophic. Thousands of people were killed, and many more were injured or displaced. So guys, which is the scariest thing caught on live camera? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. See you in the next one.